And welcome you watching Live Report with me, Shivam Misra, the show that sets the agenda for the day. This afternoon, I'm coming to you with a deep investigation that has been carried out by Republic TV's special investigation team. First, it was in Gujarat, now in Karnataka. Illegal mining that continues with impunity. This afternoon, we get to that special report. All this and much more. Up first, let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Republic brings to you an investigative ground report from Karnataka. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju has now released the latest video from inside the parliament where opposition parliamentarians can be seen creating a ruckus inside the parliament. Now, government has essentially opened up a new front altogether. In fact, these are the moments before the Prime Minister was supposed to address in the Lok Sabha. As you can see right now, the biggest bone of contention has been from the opposition parties saying that the opposition members have not been allowed to speak. But here on your screens right now, what you see is that very moment, just minutes before the Prime Minister was supposed to arrive in the Parliament for an address at the Lok Sabha, you can see women parliamentarians of the Congress party as well as other opposition members trying to get out that same very seat where the Prime Minister was supposed to sit. Just on the left-hand side of the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju's seat is where the Prime Minister was supposed to come in. It seems from this video that has been put out by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister to put things on record with regards to how attempts were essentially made to disrupt the parliament proceedings, particularly, as you can see, the INB Minister, Ashwini Vaishnav, requesting along with Dharmendra Pradhan and Piyush Goyal all standing up in that area and requesting the opposition members to basically leave from the area and not perhaps create a chaos there. What you can see right now, clearly there was gestures that were basically made by those who were there. In fact, we'll stick to that frame. Can we just go back to the frame to show the number of Congress parliamentarians who had basically lined up with, that's the frame. We're going to stay with this, freeze frame this, where you can see about 8 parliamentarians, women parliamentarians from the opposition benches coming here and blocking the road to the Prime Minister. In fact, it turns out that 8 of the parliamentarians who were there, they were carrying a placard. Not very sure what was basically written there because the image that has come in right now is a bit blurred. But having said that, it is quite clear that attempts were essentially made to prevent the Prime Minister from addressing in the Lok Sabha. In fact, the very next day, the Prime Minister basically addressed in the Rajya Sabha. In fact, the opposition members have been saying that they have not done anything wrong. What's wrong? When they are supposed to basically protest. Here, Harsha, a video that has been put out by the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju makes it very clear, abundantly clear, that 8 parliamentarians from the opposition benches did prevent the Prime Minister from speaking that evening.
Yes, yes, Shravan, and this happened seconds before Prime Minister was about to enter the Lok Sabha for his address on the motion of thanks of the President address. It happened seconds. We were there at the Hansdwar. Prime Minister was about to leave from his cabin to enter to the Lok Sabha. But that very time, all the 8 MPs from the opposition bench came towards the Treasury bench. They blocked entire route. They tried to jump towards the well where the Speaker was seated, and also they brought the huge banner and poster and placards with them, which is against the rule of the Lok Sabha. And that is what today has been. The video clearly states that how many MPs were there. 8 of them, already we know that the 8 MPs have already also been suspended. But these women MPs have not been suspended yet, Shravan. This is what we want to tell all our viewers. The ones who are suspended were the ones who were suspended.
Harsha, since you have been reporting from inside the Parliament, Harsha, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Since you've been reporting from inside the Parliament, we are just playing out the video. I want you to explain this to our viewers. What really happened, the exact sequence of events, starting from the time the announcement actually came in that the Prime Minister would be addressing in the Lok Sabha around 5 o'clock in the evening. In fact, as far as the budget proceedings are concerned, part of the protocol the Prime Minister would have addressed, but it seems that at least 8 parliamentarians from the opposition benches. Could you help us identify who are these 8 parliamentarians who are blocking? And when you spoke to Priyanka Gandhi that very afternoon, what did she have to say?
Priyanka Gandhi clearly told me, Shivam, when I asked her that it was a disrespect of the speaker and the parliament. Priyanka Gandhi stated, just so what? So what? We didn't do anything bad. We were not there to hurt Prime Minister, because speaker specifically mentioned, when he mentioned what happened that day in the Lok Sabha, speaker mentioned that it was the plan of the opposition leaders, opposition MPs to harm, so that any untoward incident would have taken place in Lok Sabha. And he got this information, intel, and therefore he urged Prime Minister not to come in the house that day. It was speaker who spoke to Prime Minister not to enter the Lok Sabha, because
in fact, Harsha, it seems the Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju.
Members, please go back to your seats. Honorable members, please go back to your seats. Let the budget discussion start. The House stand adjourned to meet again at 2 p.m.
Yet again, now been adjourned. It seems that there was chaos inside the Lok Sabha. I'll go across to Harsha for a quick update of what's really happening. Harsha, the second consecutive day where the Lok Sabha has been adjourned now till 2 p.m. We'll try and reconnect with our Parliament reporter Harsha, who's going to join us in this broadcast. I'll just quickly recap of what we know so far. Let's put out the breaking news. Lok Sabha has now been adjourned till about 2 p.m. That's the breaking news now coming in. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju has now put out a fresh video. The video which sets the record straight as to what really happened. How exactly was the Prime Minister basically prevented from speaking inside the Parliament? This particular new video makes it very clear that 8 opposition members had all lined up and blocking the entry of the Prime Minister. Harsha, second consecutive day, Lok Sabha has now been adjourned till 2 p.m. What's really happening there?
So Lok Sabha had been adjourned, and it's because of the continuous ruckus and chaos from the side of the opposition party. Shivam, it doesn't look like that this budget session will go smoothly, because there are several leaders who want to speak on the budget speech. They wanted to speak on motion of thanks of President as well. But because of the ruckus and disruption by the Congress party majorly, the leaders have not been able to speak. And the particular leaders have also met speaker by continuously telling them, if it's particularly in Congress party, if they are there who are not speaking and creating disruption, but the other leaders want to speak, then some stringent action should be taken against LOP and against the Congress leaders who are disrupting the parliament. Today, again, Shivam, at 12:30, there's a meeting of the Congress party leaders, opposition leaders with the speaker. At 12:30, all of them will be meeting the speaker once again, so that there could be a deadlock, something could be arranged, and there's no disruption from the side of Rahul Gandhi specifically. Shivam, every day when the parliament resumes, and the fresh day, morning 11 o'clock, all the opposition leaders, especially the opposition bench, KC Venugopal, Rahul Gandhi, and the leaders of the opposition party TMC and the South leaders, Jyoti Mani and Varsha Gaikwad, they all stand, they start shouting, sloganeering, they bring placards in the house, which is against the rules of the house. And the speaker clearly has stated, if this will be the situation in the house will not be able to function. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju every day stands up and states that LOP will be allowed to speak, but LOP has to understand that he can't mention the things which are unpublished. And LOP is adamant on again and again taking the name of the General Nirvane's book when everything is out and open, when the publisher itself has stated that the book is never published. Then also they are adamant that this book will be mentioned. The ruckus and chaos remains the same. There's no deadlock over the disruption created by opposition party. We have to wait exactly what will happen today at 12:30 when all these opposition party leaders will be meeting speaker, because Shivam, we spoke to Abhishek Banerjee. We spoke to the leaders of the other parties like Samajwadi Party and the RSP, who are the Indie members. They stated that they want parliament to run. They want parliament to run.
Fact,
imagine TMC wants parliament to run.
Okay, so it seems that there is a divide within the opposition benches right now as far as what would be the strategy adopted by them. TMC seems to have now indicating that they want the parliamentary proceedings to continue, but it seems the Congress is not on the same page. Now, this is what Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiran Rijiju had to say a short while back. Listen in. We'll try and play that out in a short while from now. In fact, shift the focus now to the other story that we're getting to. It's a Republic TV investigation. Illegal sand mining, which is taking place across the country. Yesterday afternoon, we got you the story from Gujarat where Orsang River was being mined. And now it seems the same is happening in Yadgir district along the Krishna River, where locals have now come out in the open complaining about how heavy machinery has been brought in. Hundreds of trucks extracting sand day and night. The situation has only worsened with clashes taking place, clashes that have broken out with sand mafia members over control of trade. Yet authorities allegedly remain inactive. Multiple complaints, officials from the police, revenue, mines and geology departments have all, it appears, have turned a blind eye, emboldening the mafia to continue their destructive activities. In fact, residents are now demanding immediate and strict action to stop illegal mining, which is ravaging the Krishna River and threatening the environment. Take a look at this ground report.
This is not a hidden operation. This is illegal sand mining in plain sight. Illegal sand mining along the Krishna River is going on openly in Yadgir district. Along the Krishna River in Sahapur Taluk's Hayalbi village, heavy machinery is scooping out sand relentlessly day and night without any fear of law or authority. Environmental damage is already visible. Deep pits in the riverbed and weakened embankments threaten the nearby villages. With monsoon approaching, the residents fear flooding, but their warnings are being ignored. Even the farmers fear flooding and loss of agricultural land if the mining activity continues.
यादगिरी जिला में बहुत बड़ा माफिया सैंड माफिया चल रहा है। मैं भी यादगिरी जिला शाहपुर तालुक हयालबी गांव में है। दृश्य में देख सकता है यादगिरी जिला में दो प्रमुख नदी है, वो एक कृष्णा और भीमा नदी है। दोनों नदी जिला का जीवनाडी है। उसे जिले में बहुत सैंड माफिया चल रहा है। दिन और रात नदी लूट रहे हैं। माफिया बहुत राजारोष में चल रहा है। तो संबंधपट क्या अधिकार और जिला जनप्रतिनिधि दोनों भी इसमें शामिल है को लोग बोलता है। क्या बहुत बड़ा आदमी चलता है, इसके पीछे बहुत आदमी का हाथ में है को लोगों बहुत अच्छा है। अधिकार और जनप्रतिनिधि दोनों भी इसमें शामिल में वे सकता है। क्या उसके आजू बाजू जिला क्या रायचूर, बीदर, कलबुर्गी में उसे सैंड को बहुत डिमांड है। यही हिन्नल ये वो धंधेखोरों को उसमें धंधे चल रहा है। वो क्या इसके लोगों को क्या डिमांड है, ये कृष्णा नदी में चल रहा है को सैंड माफिया बंद करना चाहिए।
About 15 days ago, clashes reportedly broke out among rival sand mafia groups in the same village, allegedly over control of illegal land mining. Despite this violent incident, mining operations continue without fear. Angry residents are now demanding immediate and strict action against the sand mafia. Calls are being made for authorities to stop the illegal mining and protect the Krishna River before irreversible damage is done.
Well, in fact, it is not just about one singular state, but at least two states we found illegal mining taking place, first in Gujarat and now in Karnataka. First to you, Abhishek, with regards to the investigation that has been carried out. Complaints have been registered. Many are asking, how have we essentially documented that illegal mining is taking place in Yadgir district? Take us through the big takeaways of this investigation.
Shravan, despite knowing that the sand mafia is operating illegally day and night, 24/7, 365 days, the officials of the revenue department, the district administration, and the mines and the geology department officials are acting as though they are deaf and dumb with respect to the sand mafia, which has clearly been alleged by the district persons or the people, the localites within the district, mentioning the fact that all these officials who had to stop the illegal sand mafia are involved in the entire scam, and they are getting their regular cut from the sand mafia persons. And also, we shouldn't forget the fact that there was a fight which had broken out a couple of months ago with respect to who owns the mafia, and people who have been staying there for a longer time have started witnessing these fights off lately, and they are scared about their safety as well. They are demanding immediate action be taken into consideration, immediate action be initiated against the officials who had to stop the sand mafia, who are involved in the scam themselves. So we will have to see how the district administration responds to this. We will also have to see how the district minister responds to the same, despite knowing that the Krishna River has been continuously harassed by the sand mafia people. And also there is a irreversible damage which has already been caused to river Krishna, and will the Environment Act be implied on the officials who have not done their who have not disposed of their duties? Shravan.
Thank you very much, Abhishek, for getting us the latest details. I'll quickly get an update also from Swarali. Swarali, you were the first in Gujarat to basically expose this in Vadodara district. Is there any response that has come in? And also just a quick recap from you as to what you found from that very area.
Yes, that's true. Let me take you through the quick recap of what actually happened when we were on ground. The public had gone on ground exclusively. We have shown reports from two districts, to be very specific, Chota Udaipur and Vadodara, because one of the villages from where we reported, the Moli, was on the edge of both the districts, and it was divided by Ocean River itself, and that was the place wherein the fake leaf stones were put up to misguide authorities and people of the village, but that could not work, and FIR was being filed on the same project. On the other hand, when we went to Para village, which is far more placed in the interior of the riverbed, because the villages have their ends and then this grazing land.
Well, in fact, on your screens right now, these are the images of our investigation. This is what we caught on our cameras from Gujarat. This is in Vadodara district. I'll quickly recap before we go to the other big story as we prepare for the other big story coming in just a bit as I just quickly recap all of this. In fact, the other big story that we're getting to you this afternoon, it's about the VVIP killings. First, we saw this happening in Pune. A rerun of it in Kanpur. Republic has relentlessly covered the high-profile Kanpur Lamborghini crash case, from confronting the Commissioner of Police with a simple question over why a simple blood test wasn't conducted within 24 hours to Shivam Mishra not being named in the FIR. The lawyer of VVIP brat Shivam Mishra made an unsuccessful attempt to shield Shivam Mishra, claiming that he wasn't driving the car. Now, police has countered the lawyer's statement with the CCTV video and eyewitness accounts. The tobacco baron's son was driving the luxury sports car when it rammed into pedestrians on VIP Road. Mishra's counsel Mrityunjay Singh was found lying on camera when he told the reporters that the vehicle was being driven by Mohan, a designated driver that was employed by Mishra's family and not Mishra himself. Now, what we are essentially going to do is play out some of the responses, and on your screens, these are the CCTV footage. This is what the lawyer had to say. The car was being driven by the driver, not by Shivam Mishra. We will present the facts and evidence before the court. Now, quote unquote, this is exactly what the lawyer had to say. Kumar had urged authorities to treat the incident as an accident rather than a criminal offence. The Kanpur police dismissed the claim, maintaining that the investigation so far has confirmed Mishra to be the driver at the time of the crash. Now, let me take you through the details here. My colleague Gaurav, who's got us the details. Gaurav, सबसे पहले आपसे जानना चाहूँगा कि इस पूरे तफ्तीश से उनके पास क्या तथ्य है, उनके पास अब वो क्या कह रहे हैं, क्योंकि जिस तरह से पिछले कुछ दिनों से, पिछले कुछ घंटों से ये लगातार ये कहते आए हैं कि गाड़ी वो नहीं चला रहे थे, गाड़ी कोई और चला रहा था। ये सीसीटीवी फुटेज से क्या प्रमाण होता है?
देखिए, बिल्कुल आपको बता दें, जो दावा इनके द्वारा कल किया गया था कि गाड़ी चालक मोहन था और कहीं ना कहीं इस पूरी घटनाक्रम से अपने आप को बचाने की जो कवायद थी वो की जा रही थी। लेकिन इस पूरे मामले में आपको बता दें, जो वीडियो सामने आए, सीसीटीवी सामने आए, जिसमें साफ चीज ये दर्शाती है कि जो शिवम था वही गाड़ी चला रहा है, तो ये दावे तो अपने आप में फेल हो गए। लेकिन आपको बता दें, इस पूरे मामले में जब हमने पुलिस कमिश्नर से बात करी तो उनका भी साफ तौर पर कहना है कि शिवम गाड़ी चला रहा था और इस बात के पूरे जो पुख्ता सबूत है वो पुलिस के पास है और उसके बाद शिवम को इस पूरे मामले में बख्शा नहीं जाएगा, चाहे वो रसूखदार हो या कोई भी हो। इस पूरे मामले में जो कार्रवाई है वो होती दिखेगी। यही वो गाड़ी है, मैं आपको दिखा दूं, इस वक्त वालटोली थाने में मौजूद हूं और यही वो गाड़ी है जिससे उस दोपहर जो एक्सीडेंट है उसकी घटना को अंजाम दिया गया। तो उसके बाद इसी गाड़ी से जो शिवम है उसको बाउंसरों ने निकाला और दूसरी गाड़ी में शिफ्ट करके यहां से लेकर के फरार हो गए थे। फिलहाल पुलिस जो है गाड़ी को यहां पर लेकर के आ गई थी, उसे सीज कर दिया था। लेकिन अब बता दें, अब इस पूरे मामले में जो शिवम का परिवार है वो सामने आना शुरू हुआ और उसने आज जो शिवम के पिता है के मिश्रा, उन्होंने अपनी बात रखी है। वो पुलिस के पास अपने बयान के लिए आ रहे हैं। उनका कहना है कि शिवम एडमिट है, लेकिन कानपुर पुलिस कमिश्नर का साफ तौर पे कहना है अगर एडमिट है तो उसके प्रमाण दें और अपना बयान दर्ज कराएं। चूंकि हाई प्रोफाइल है तो ऐसा नहीं, इनके लिए कानून कोई अलग तरीके का होगा, इनको भी उसी कानून के तहत आकर के अपने बयान दर्ज कराने पड़ेंगे। अब से कुछ ही देर में इसी थाने में जो के मिश्रा है, शिवम के पिता, वो पहुंचने वाले हैं और अपने बयान जो है वो यहाँ पर दर्ज कराएंगे। चूंकि पुलिस ने उनको सम्मन किया था, कल जिस तरह से हमने देखा कि कानपुर की पुलिस उनके घर पहुंचती है लेकिन गेट नहीं खुलते हैं और पुलिस को वापस आना पड़ता है। कहीं ना कहीं उसी बात से लेकर के लगातार रिपब्लिक मीडिया नेटवर्क ने इस बात की जो खबर है वो चलाई कि कैसे जो कानून है उसका दोहरा चेहरा देखने को मिलता है कि एक रसूखदार के लिए पुलिस दरवाजे पर जाती है और लौट के आ जाती है, वहीं कोई आम आदमी होता तो पुलिस को घर से खींच कर लाती है। तो इसी के बाद से पुलिस अब एक्शन में है और साफ तौर पर बता दें, आज उनके पिता है, उनको बयान के लिए बुलाया गया। उसके बाद शिवम को भी थाने ही आना पड़ेगा अपने बयान के लिए। अब पुलिस उनके दरवाजे पर नहीं जाएगी। बैक टू यू।
धन्यवाद गौरव। In fact, what we're going to do is take you through some of these images that Gaurav was basically speaking about and why there is a clear contradiction. Watch, in fact, these very visuals where you will clearly see how Shivam Mishra was actually taken out of the car by his bodyguards. Now, this is exactly what he had to claim just about a little less than 24 hours ago, where there was an attempt, a clear cover-up attempt that was made by Shivam Mishra's own lawyer. On your screens right now, this is the very moment that he was basically taken out of the vehicle. Clearly, there were bouncers behind this car. The bouncers came in and was taking him out of the car. And he's clearly seen, this is immediately after the impact. We are given to understand that he was being taken out by at least 4 of their bouncers. Now, these are the visuals of the car after it collided with the motorcycle. Now, as the car had basically rammed into pedestrians and parked vehicles in the area. On your screens right now, these are the images coming in, which clearly shows the impact of this collision. In fact, the motorcycle which had rammed into, and thereafter we're given to understand the person concerned was taken to the hospital. Now, watch this video where Shivam Mishra can be seen at the terrace of his home. The reason why we are showing this, because it turns out that the Kanpur police had to go to his residence only because they wanted to record a statement. All this while, remember, his name did not even surface in the FIR. A question that was asked to the Kanpur police as to why such a long rope was being given to this man. Is it because of the fact that he is the son of a tobacco baron? There's no answer really coming in from the investigators. In fact, when the first question that was posed by Republic TV, the answer that we essentially got from them was that the matter is being investigated, and once the investigation gains momentum, perhaps something would be done. Well, that's all that we could pack in this edition of Live Report. News and updates continue on the other side.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया